G'day guys, how's it going? It's Cody Orgel from CycleTravelOverload.com coming to you guys with a video. Today we're talking about the best gravel bikes under $2,000. I've done some videos before, the best gravel bikes under $1,500 and the best gravel bikes under $1,000. So refer to those videos if you're looking for gravel bikes around that budget range. This budget range is at $1,500 to $2,000. So I'm going to get straight into it. There's some really good gravel bikes here that I'm really excited to talk to you guys about. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's talk gravel bikes under $2,000. Okay, so the first bike that I got to share with you guys is a really nice Niner bike. I love this brand of bike. They make some really incredible bikes. But this is a 2019 Niner RLT9 2-star Tiagra. So they call this their affordable aluminium bike option. For a brand that makes some really great quality bikes, this is their cheaper choice. And you know, it's pretty nice. It's not the 1x11 sort of drive chain that I dig in a gravel bike, but still, it has some pretty good options. So it's essentially a bike designed for weekend adventures, long gravel grinds, and light touring. So if that's the kind of riding that you have in mind, then this bike's kind of the right fit for you. The frame of the bike is made by a hydroformed alloy tubing with modern design characteristics like your through axle and tapered alloy head tube. Although the bike comes stock with Shimano Tiagra 2x10 drive chain, the frame can also accommodate a 1x or a 2x or even a 3x drive chain if you know, that's what you want. The sky's pretty much the limit. I believe the retail price of this bike is over $2,000, but they have a discount at Jensen USA for about 25% off, so this kind of puts that bike at around $1,600. If you can pick it up for a good deal, something like that, it's a pretty good deal. So in this list there is some slightly better climbing bikes, but the Niner stacks up, sharing second spot with the Diamondback Hanjo 5C and the Genesis as well, that I'll get to a bit later on. So if you guys want some more information, I suggest heading over to my website where I have like a comparable table there where you can see like this, you know, simple statistics of the bikes. But the bike does come with a Tiagra RS400 crankset, which is a 50x34 tooth, and the Shimano HG500 11x34 teeth cassette. And the bike also allows for a max tire clearance of 1.75 inch tires. Okay, so the next bike we've got is the 2019 KONA ROVE NRB DL. So this is another superb gravel bike that retails for, again, over $2,000, but you can pick it up at a discount at the recording of this video for 20% off as well, putting it around $1,800 bucks. But it just depends on how lucky you are to get these bikes under $2,000. So again, this bike is designed to tackle gravel riding, commuting, adventure riding, and touring. So it's built with a 6061 aluminium frame with a carbon fork that has geometry that allows for bigger tire clearance. Comes with WTB Horizon Road Plus 650s by 47Cs. And custom dropouts that are easily used with fenders. So the bike comes with eyelets for rear racks and bottle cages. Unfortunately, it has no mounting options there on the forks or anything like that, when the Niner that I just mentioned to you guys has a couple of eyelet options there on the fork. So you get a higher end component level on this bike with the Shimano Ultegra group set with a 2x11 speed. So this gives you the Shimano 105 11 34 tooth rear cassette, and the crank is a 34x50. So it also comes with tubeless rims and tires for a smoother ride, better traction, and fewer flats, of course, while also featuring the Shimano 105 hydraulic disc brakes. Also, KONA has a 2020 model of this bike as well, that's probably worth checking out if you're interested. Next up, we've got the KONA ROVE ST, ST meaning steel. So as you guys can probably tell behind me here, this is a KONA Sutra steel bike. It's kind of similar to the ROVE here. This is more adventurous and it's considered a adventure / gravel bike, when the ROVE is more of a gravel commuter style bike, has not as wide a sort of flared handlebars and all that kind of stuff, and it's just kind of a tiny bit different in that aspect. So if you are like me and you have a love for steel bikes, then this might be worth looking further into. It's a badass steel bike that is more than capable to take you anywhere with classic look and feel. I kind of am digging the purple color of this bike, and it has that 1x11 as well. You can't go wrong with that, eh? So this bike actually comes stock with the 650B tires, while the bike that I have here is 700C. So you get the WTB Siam I-23 rims wrapped in the WTB Adventures, which are 650s by 47s. and you get the SRAM Rival 1 drivetrain. And this sees mechanical disc brakes on this bike. They're the TRP Spire C flat mount mechanical disc brakes, while the KONA Sutra I have here is a hydraulic disc brake. And this bike is around a $1,600 bike. Next up, we've got the ORBEA TERRA H31D. This is a pretty nice looking bike. Again, this one doesn't really have mounts. I should mention that the KONA ROVE steel comes with some mounts there on the fork, which is always handy for bike packing and stuff, putting like cargo cages and stuff like that on it. But ORBEA did spend some time developing a bike that could fit into the lives of those who, I guess, have the itch to explore beyond the sealed roads. So they came up with this bike. I guess you could classify this as an efficient road bike capable of gravel grinding, and will also satisfy cyclocross enthusiasts as well, who need a bike with excellent tire clearance. And it's not the best, to be honest. It's only up to 40 millimeters. So this is an aluminium frame and carbon fork combination that has optimized shapes to help absorb vibrations and provide compliance and comfort. So if you guys can sort of tell, it has a bit of a different sort of angles and shapes to, I guess, the top tube there and the frame in general. So areas of the bike have been purposely sort of strengthened and stiffened to produce maximum power transfer to keep you moving steadily down the road. So the bike comes with the SRAM Rival 1x11 speed drivetrain that supplies smooth, accurate shifting with the 11x32 cassette, and this bike has hydraulic disc brakes as well. So you can also pick this one up for about 20% off as well, for around that $1,650 range. Next up, we have the Cannondale Topstone Aluminium 105. So this bike has made quite a few appearances in my ultimate list of gravel bikes, if you will, because they do have different sort of levels and tiers to these bikes. And this one has some even better quality components. So the all black graphite stealthy look kind of looks really cool. The bike also comes with like top tube braze-ons as well, so you can attach like a top tube bag there. It's lacking the fork mounts, which is something that I always look for in a bike, which is a little unfortunate. But the rest of this bike is really, really nice. So you get a balanced riding position that is upright enough for comfort over the long haul and control on technical terrain, while also still low and forward enough to be speedy and efficient. So you get tire clearance for up to 42mm tires, mounts for your 3 water bottles plus the top tube storage mount like I mentioned, and the frame is a SmartForm C2 alloy and a full carbon fork. So the straight shot internal cable routing makes the bike look much more tidy, so you don't have those cables hanging around everywhere. And it looks a lot more slipstreamed, which is kind of really cool. You do get the Shimano 105 group set, which is a 2x11. Comes with the WTB Riddler TCS lights, which are 700Cs by 37mm. So they're, you know, not the widest tires out there, a little bit skinnier. And this bike's around $1,750. Next we have the Norco Search XR-A1. This is a nice bike with some really cool specs on it. I like this bike. Norco makes some really amazing bikes, and this is their most budget gravel bike that they sell. So it's essentially an adventure seeker that blurs the lines between mountain and road. They try to push the limits of what a drop bar bike can do. I just found out about the Search XR line not too long ago, and I guess this bike could have made a spot, you know, in the... So right off the bat, the first thing I noticed is the two eyelets on the fork, which would come in handy for storing stuff. So it's made from a double-butted X6 aluminium, and the fork is a mid-modulus carbon fiber. Features the Shimano GRX 2x11 speed group set, which is really, really nice. Next we have a Genesis bike. This is the, I'm gonna have a crack at pronouncing it, but it's the Genesis, or CROIX Defer 20, I guess. And this is another one of those bikes that can pretty much take you anywhere. Genesis have been making this bike for over a decade, and this 2020 model is fast and responsive yet stable, and also perfectly balanced. It is able to do most riding from commuting duties during the week, then epic multi-terrain adventures on the weekend. You get a trio of bottle cage mounts. It's a very practical bike. The legendary Reynolds 725 steel. It has a perfect mix of strength and suppleness. Comes with Shimano Tiagra group set, which is a 2x10 speed. And it's priced around that $1,755. Next is the Diamondback Hanjo 5C EXP Carbon. This is one of the more favorite bikes of mine in this list. So it's an all carbon bike with frame and fork, all carbon, designed to help you get off the beaten track. One interesting aspect about this bike is the bar end shifters, which is pretty interesting because most gravel bikes don't really have bar end shifters. It's more of a touring bike trait, which I found very interesting, but I kind of like it. So the main reason they say they put bar end shifters on this bike is for the ease of on-trail maintenance and reliability. So I guess this ease of fixing when you're out in the middle of nowhere is kind of a nice thought from Diamondback. You get a 2x10 speed with Shimano Dior, rear derailleur and the Shimano Tiagra front. It comes with a nice wide WTB Bioway tyre, which is a 650x47. And it comes in at exactly $2,000. Next up we have the Cannon Grail AL 7.0. So this bike is essentially the definition of lightweight modern adventure riding. It features the SRAM 1x11 and I kind of like it. It looks really nice on this bike. And also it must be mentioned that this bike has won quite a few awards for, you know, the best bike. And you get the Swalby G1 tyres that come stock with this bike, which are 40mm tyres. So this is a great tyre for mixed terrain riding, and the bike's priced at just under $1,600. Next up we have the Specialized SEQUOIA Elite. So this is built from a premium chromoly. So when Specialized built this bike, they went as far to select tubes that are specific for each frame size. So the bike blurs the line between a traditional road bike and a dedicated touring rig. The geometry is more described as an adventure geometry with ample wheelbase and low bottom bracket for control, but the chainstays and the tube angles ensure that you'll be able to travel efficiently and quickly regardless of whether or not your rig is loaded. The bike comes with a number of mounts, which is great, and you know, it has those double mounts on the fork and triples inside the frame as well, which is handy. And also the fork is carbon and the bike comes in at $1,800. Next we have the Salsa Journeyman in the Apex 1. So this is a 1x drive chain with the 650B tyres. So Salsa have taken their learnings from the Salsa Fargo, the Via and the Warbird and have brought it in all with this new entry-level all-road platform. So this is their budget version of a gravel bike, and they have versions of this bike that are under $1,000. So if you don't want to go all out and get an Apex drivetrain on this bike, you can opt for a cheaper version that's under $1,000 if that's your budget range. For this bike, it's just under $1,500. Last but not least, we have the Surly Straggler. We have to fit a Surly in here every time we do one of these. I kind of almost forgot to put this one in, but it's Surly's pavement and steel gravel bike. The Straggler is tuned for crossover exploration on a wide variety of conditions. It is a rough road bike. It's also kind of a cyclocross bike with no sort of intention of racing. A really great commuter townie bike, light duty touring bike, and an all-weather commuter. A good way to think about this bike is a mountain biker's road bike. You could even use this bike as a light tourer for short bike tours if you really wanted to as well. It comes with mounts and racks for fenders and all that stuff. Clearance for 650Bs with 41mm, or you can fit on 700Cs with 41mm tyres and fenders. You also get the forward exiting horizontal dropouts with single speed capability if that's your thing, and also wheelbase adjustability. Prices starting from about $1,650. So thanks for watching today's video, guys. If you want to find out more about these bikes, the link for the article is listed down below, where you can check out all these bikes and other bikes that I've been talking about over at my blog at cycletraveloverload.com. Thanks for passing by and stopping to watch the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and even drop a comment down below if you have any questions or you want me to make some videos about other stuff as well. I'd love to hear what recommendations you guys have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.